Howdy! In case there are any new viewers watching this, to give you a little context, I am an adult violin learner, and I began learning last year, September 2019, at the age of 30. I am now 31, and I have been playing for a little over a year. And today I wanted to talk about a few things that learning violin has taught me that actually don't really have to exclusively do with music. The first thing that I have learned is that it is okay to suck at something.
I suck at the violin. It's so hard. Oh my god, me too.
I have always been kind of a perfectionist, and it was very difficult for me to relinquish that sense of control and just allow myself to be really bad at something. And everyone has to start somewhere, right? The good thing, though, about starting at the very bottom and being absolutely awful at something is that there's no place to go but up. And actually, being bad at something, it's kind of freeing in a way. When you first start out, there is not that huge expectation that you have to be really good at something, unless you're giving it to yourself, which I kind of do, but just remember that everyone starts somewhere. The second thing that I learned is that life really is all about the journey.
We suck. But that's right, life's about the journey.
I've always kind of lived by this anyway, but learning violin has really solidified it for me because the fun is not in the mastery of a technique, the fun is in learning the technique. Once you master it, you move on to something else, and that fun is gone for you. And although maybe the ultimate goal is to become extremely proficient in the instrument, the journey getting there is what's really fun. Learning an instrument is like learning a language and learning new vocabulary, if you will, musical vocabulary. It's what's fun about the whole journey. It's like these little mini goals, these little mini road stops along the path to proficiency. And that's the most enjoyable part. Number 3, physical health is so important. We don't really think of learning an instrument as being an athletic thing, but it actually kind of is. And physical health is really just so important in all aspects of our life. If you're not physically fit, you're not physically healthy, then a lot of things become more difficult. But it was especially so learning violin. In my case, I had actually gotten into fitness before I started learning violin, and I went to the gym a lot, but just before I started learning violin, I kind of took a break from going to the gym, and I realized it was starting to take a toll on my body when I was learning violin because I would tense up and I would have all these aches and pains after I went to my lessons because I didn't stretch before and I wasn't upkeeping my physical fitness. Then, when I started stretching and doing strengthening exercises for my back and my shoulders and my neck, I found that all of the pains that I was having went away. It was like magic. So, although it is very easy to ignore, it is so important to take care of your physical health in any situation, but also when you're learning an instrument. Number 4, if you want to achieve it, you have to believe it. So, one of my favorite quotes is, whether you think you can or think you can't, you are right. And so, when you're learning anything, or really anything in life that you have a goal for, if you do not believe that you can achieve it, you will not achieve it. So, I have found that keeping kind of a childlike sense of wonder and keeping those big dreams, those lofty goals, and believing in yourself, just dreaming about them like a child would, is actually a really good way to put yourself in the right direction to achieving those goals. Visualization is a really great tool. Whenever I am working on a particularly difficult passage, or if I'm learning a new scale on my violin, I have found that if I just imagine myself as a really amazing soloist, just, nailing it, I have found that that has actually helped me to play better. It's really interesting how that works. Just believe in yourself and imagine yourself achieving that goal, and it somehow just gets a little bit easier. The fifth and perhaps most important thing that learning violin has taught me is discipline. When I first started out, I actually set myself the very lofty goal of practicing every single day for an entire year. And I actually stuck to it. I did the entire year. I completed the year. And not only did I complete the entire year, I have continued to practice every day since the last day of that year. So I have not missed a day of practice since I started learning violin. And by doing that, I learned just how important consistency is, how important that discipline is. And not everyone is going to be able to practice every single day. It's not really practical for everyone. It was just something that I challenged myself personally to do. But I do believe that there is something extremely powerful about doing something every day. And you really do see the results of it. You really get the fruits of that labor when you're being consistent with it. Even if it's not every day, if you set your goal to 2 days a week or 3 days a week, when you stick to it and you are consistent, you will see results. And the great thing about setting that goal and actually keeping it is that it has seeped into other aspects of my life. And I am more confident in myself and more confident in my own word. I trust myself better because I know that I have kept a promise to myself like that. By learning discipline through learning violin, it has affected many other areas of my life as well. And I'm more disciplined in things that were more difficult for me before. But now that I have learned this skill of discipline, I've gotten so much better. And it has definitely improved my quality of life. There are actually many other lessons, life lessons that I have learned through learning an instrument, through learning music, but that was just 5 of the main ones that popped into my head that I wanted to share it with you. I would love to hear from all of you if you are learning an instrument or a new language, or you have some goal that you're working towards. Has working towards that goal taught you any interesting life lessons? Please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your stories. And before I go, I actually want to give a big shout out to my coffee supporter. I don't know if you want me to say your name or not, so I will just say anonymous donor. Thank you so much. For those of you who do not know, I have a coffee page down in the description. There's a link if you would like to support my work. That is one of the best ways to do it. And I am so glad that you are here today. If you would like to join me in the next video, it would be great if you subscribed so you can be notified. But if not, thank you so much for watching this one. Bye-bye.